What's up, y'all? I want to start today by checking in. We're talking about the Empress, number 3 in the major arcana, and we're talking about the 3's in the minor arcana. I want to start by checking in and everyone taking a deep breath and giving yourself a moment to settle into the space. So, inhaling deeply and exhaling. And on the next breath, feeling into space. What it means to have space and to feel and be settled. The Empress is such a grounded and radiant presence. And right now in my practice, I'm not so much shuffling cards and seeing what comes out. I'm feeling really drawn to specific archetypes. And I don't even remember how or why the Empress was the card that I chose to pack, along with all of the 3's for a road trip that I took last week. And I love sitting with the cards in this way because I find they're kind of choosing me and reaching out to me. And they always end up being really perfect. A lot of times I go into this thinking, I'm going to take the Empress with me. I'm going to journal on the Empress. I'm going to journal on the 3's and put together a reading for YouTube or for Substack or whatever. And intellectually, I understand the cards. I understand what they represent, the numerology, the elements, all of that. But it never fails that this newfound understanding of the present moment settles over me when I'm sitting with these cards. And while we were on our road trip, I was really excited to sit with these cards, but it surprised me that I didn't feel at all drawn to pulling them out. They stayed in my little travel altar the whole time. And I'm like, it's okay if I don't end up sitting with them. I'll get to them when I get back. It's not, the moment for it or whatever. Well, something happened on the trip and I went for a walk and I was feeling really tight and tense, which is something I'm feeling a lot of lately, of the sense of not being very grounded. There's a lot to do. There's a lot going on. I'm constantly thinking and striving for something because there's a tangible timeline right now in my life and several projects going on that need to be done well and done when they're supposed to be done. And I had this moment on my walk where I took a deep breath and was just assessing. And I just felt this moment of acceptance of this is where I'm at. This is where my money's at. This is where my body's at. And I felt so much peace in giving myself the space to accept the moment and this period of time exactly as it is. And I want to say that when we're working with a card like the Empress, for example, the energy of the Empress in this moment for us collectively is acceptance. How long that moment lasts is determined by you. We can be uncomfortable in our bodies, in our money, in our work. And when I'm telling you to lean into the energy of acceptance, it's not to gaslight yourself into thinking that everything's okay if it's not, but it's to invite you to just be really present and grounded in what is. I'll give you an example. I'm experiencing vertigo again. And when I get vertigo, it lasts for a long time and it hinders so much. Like, it affects my sleep. I'm in the middle of a 12-week program for lifting weights, and I am making so much progress and feeling really good. And I have to be very careful about how and when I lift. I can't like lay on my back and stretch like I like to. I do hair all day in a salon. So sometimes I like to come home and lay on the floor and put my legs up the wall. It feels so good. And I can't do that because the room will spin. And even sleeping is complicated, and I'm not sleeping well, and I have so much tension in my body because I spin if I sleep the wrong way, and if I spin, I'll throw up, and it's just like a thing. And it's really frustrating because it's hindering my movement journey, my sleep, which affects my whole life. And while we were on this trip and in this moment, I'm like, this is where you are. You're doing what you need to do. You've contacted healthcare. You're modifying everything in your life. This is what it is. And I think for me, it's more of putting pressure on myself to perform. I want to look a certain way and feel a certain way and track my progress in my workouts and like see the change. And right now, everything has to kind of stay where it is. And I have to accept that this is where I am. And in this moment of acceptance, I really feel so good. In the acceptance, we create space and we give ourselves permission to be present with what is. And I feel like when we're not on this roller coaster of striving for something in this Empress moment, that everything will get done. And I'm kind of piggybacking too on what our friend Tristan talked about a couple weeks ago on Instagram about being quiet and still. And when everything feels like too much noise, we open ourselves up to quiet and we can receive insight and inspiration. And I don't feel like what I'm saying is that different. Acceptance creates space, and I feel it and see it as creating a space around us where we can lay back and be in this energy of, okay, I'm surrendered. In this specific moment, I'm just surrendered, and I'm going to feel proud of myself and just content. And let me just have this moment of not trying and seeing what happens. And I feel less pressure. I feel less stress. I feel like I have more time. I feel so much kinder to myself and gentler and more nurturing to myself. And I like the word nurturing with the Empress too, because she is the mother or the grandmother in the major arcana. And she's soft and she's listening and she's receiving and she's aware and she's comfortable. How do all of these words feel? By being soft and open, I feel like we become very radiant too. There's less tension. We become more supple. And I want to feel that way both in my body and in my work and in community. And I felt in this moment of acceptance on my trip, like kinder. I was more present in conversation and in what I needed and what the people around me needed. It's just permission to be. And for me, it's being happy with where I am and understanding that nothing is forever. Like even this moment of acceptance isn't forever. Like the Empress is a moment. This card is a moment. We can call on her when we need her. When she comes out in a pull, this is what this moment is for us. Or maybe it's what you sit with initially upon pulling the card and then see how she manifests for you. And I want to talk too, because the Empress rules all the 3's in the minor arcana. So we have 3 of Swords, 3 of Wands, 3 of Cups, 3 of Pentacles. And I feel like with each of these elements, there's presence in the 3 of Swords. And let's start with the 3 of Swords. The Three of Swords is grief and heartbreak and brokenness and just sadness. Just when we're in Three of Swords energy, we are sad. We're sad. We feel it very heavy. And we don't get to be in the fullness of what it is to be human and have moments of pure joy and ecstasy without the moments of grief. Part of the human experience is feeling the whole array of emotions. And we don't get to be in joy and lightness and play and present in this and understand what a gift these light, fun moments are without experiencing Three of Swords. And I was listening to a podcast, My Tiny Tarot Practice, about the Three of Cups. And she was saying, and I agree with this and appreciate this so much, like, when Three of Cups is here, it's presence. And we don't get to be in Three of Cups, which in this deck, I like this. It's kind of feisty and very human. I think of it as like gabbing with your people and kind of allowing yourself to talk about pop culture and gossip a little bit and just be not striving for anything except present. And how fun it is to not think or worry. You're like safe with your people. You can talk shit, you can be silly, you can just be yourself without having to worry. And it's such a light, happy, joyous feeling. And even in Three of Cups moments sometimes, some of my favorite memories with my girlfriends are in Three of Swords moments of heartbreak and sadness and grief, and you cry it out and then you laugh it out and you look ugly and you feel both so good and so sad. It's like the highest moment and the lowest moment all at the same time. And then Three of Wands is anticipation to me, sensing a change coming and being anxious, excited. I've been saying anxious, excited so much lately because that is literally my frequency right now, is anxious, excited. And you know that life is about to change. You feel it in the wind and you're excited about it. But also you're like, I love and don't love this moment. Like, even the things I don't love about this moment, I'm going to miss one day. I'm going to look back on this chapter and be like, remember when I lived in that house? And remember when I was trying to decide what to do with my job? And there is this time, this moment is real. And even if you hate your job or your living situation, what about spending time with your grandparents? When this moment changes, life goes on and they're not here forever. The kids in your life. When this moment changes, they'll be different too. And there will be things that you miss about these little people and the way that they annoy you, because when they're no longer annoying you in a specific way, it's because they've grown up a little bit. And we miss their fat baby hands or the way they needed you all the time. You know, it will be different. And then the Three of Pentacles, I like the depiction of this in this card because it seems like fun. It seems like planning and building something with other people. And there's no way of knowing what the end result is going to be. But it's fun to plot and plan. And like for me right now, I'm budgeting something and picking furniture and anticipating in this Three of Wands energy this new chapter, this new business endeavor. And every day the game plan and the plot looks different, and you're in this energy of collaboration and excitement with a group of people or a particular person. So how can we be in Empress energy right now? And I want to close and take a moment to really breathe. Maybe bring your hands to your heart. If you are having trouble taking a deep breath, try tapping the part of your body that feels tight. feel into the weight of your body on whatever you're sitting or lying down on, and breathe. And take your time. The Empress right now feels Cancerian to me. And Cancer's the mother, divine nurturer. She's fierce and soft. For those of you who are Christian or are open to that practice, I love pairing the Empress with Hail Marys and seeing how that feels for you. As you breathe and as you soften, invite the breath to show you where you can create more space. There's no pressure here. And picture the breath softening and expanding. And with each exhale, you let go a little more. In the Empress energy, we're right on time. We're exactly where we need to be. We're supple and grateful. We may want to change things, but we don't have to right now. I almost feel like trying too hard is wasting time. In this Empress moment, we're receptive, present in our grief, in our joy, in our planning, present with our loved ones, with ourselves. Keep coming back to this practice. I will tell you that I'm going to open a tier on Substack for very little money. It's going to be, for now, it's going to be less than $5. So subscribe on Substack if you haven't already. And the paid tier, I'm going to offer 40 minutes of energy work, like live energy work every month. So I'll set a time. Who knows when it'll be? It'll be maybe one 40-minute session, 2 20-minute sessions. Who knows? But if you like this idea of breathing together and being in community, follow me on Substack and wait for the tier to come live and be ready to meet monthly for a little live energy work together. I love you guys so much. Let me know how this feels for you in the comments below. Please like, please subscribe, and please share this with people you love. It makes a difference in my work. Peace out.